All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Stan Kramer with Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we're going to talk about the John Wick spinoff, the Continental. We spoke about episode 1, and then we decided to wait until all 3 episodes were done, and the first season of the series is out. The story is told. Winston is the manager. Surprise, surprise. So I think that's a better way to do it because we weren't in love with episode 1. I don't think any of us were. And then we're like, you know what? Let's just wait, which I think is the better call. So we'll just kind of go right into our ratings and why we want to go with those ratings. So we do now, later, never. Now means you need to check it out right now. Later means you could wait. No rush to watch it. It never means just skip it. Brandon, what are you giving the Continental and why?
I'll give it a later just because, for one, this show didn't really need to exist in hindsight. I don't think I think the show's really proof that the John Wick universe was fine kind of on its own without having a shared universe or an expanded universe. It seemed like they were just trying to cash in on the goodwill of the John Wick movies. It just didn't. It never really found its own voice. Like a lot of the fight scenes, like I said in the past, a lot of the fight scenes and the gun battle scenes felt like John Wick rather than having their own identity. I thought that the set design and the costuming was pretty good, but that was pretty much it. It just didn't need to it just didn't need to exist. And on top of that, it wasn't anything great, you know, movie wise. So I'd probably give it a later. This is if it's on cable one day, just you could put it on in the background or something.
Yeah, because you can kind of excuse something like not wanting something if it's good. Because you're like, no, I really didn't want it, but I'm glad I got it. This, like Brandon said, is yeah, not needed, and it sucked. So, yeah. Anything else, Brandon? Good or bad?
That's pretty much it.
Okay, Brian, what are you giving this one?
Okay, so I actually think it hits the John Wick feel very well. The atmosphere is fine for me. Winston is definitely not Winston. It doesn't seem right. Like he's too tall, right? He's almost like mini John Wick more than he is Winston. That's why I actually feel like I don't think the story fits the character necessarily. But I don't mind what we're getting from it. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of action happening. It does have filler in it, which is crazy for 3 episodes to have filler in it.
I mean, granted, each episode was an hour and a half.
Yeah, but
but still, yeah.
I'm gonna give it a later. But if you like the action, I'm not gonna be mad at you just really enjoying the action, you know, because it is a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of fun in a lot of places, but I'm not a big story fan of the way they're telling the story. I think that's where it is. I think the story doesn't fit the characters as I know them. So it's a later for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a later as well. It felt off. You know, the action was good. I think the best action was right in the beginning in episode 1 and right at the end of episode 3. Everything else was kind of like okay, but those action scenes, those fight scenes felt the most John Wick, esque. Besides that, still, and I was worried. I'm like, right off the bat, Winston didn't feel like a Winston. And towards the end, I still feel the same way. I just still feel like that's not the Winston I know from John Wick, so stuff like that. But I know we were talking a little bit before we went live, and it just the part of the story I wanted to know, they only gave it to me in the last like 10 minutes. And I'm like, that's all I wanted to know. I didn't need to know all this other stupid shit, Like I really like the fire thing that I don't care. Like I really don't care. Like so much of the stuff like I didn't care. Like Mel Gibson was not the greatest character.
He's
Nothing
just a
versus a bad actor.
psychotic. That's just him.
Yeah, but he was like really psychotic, and it didn't seem like he respected the traditions of what the high table made and stuff like that, where like Winston did. But also Winston wasn't the only one that had those same respects. We found out in the last John Wick that when he went to Tokyo or wherever,
Mhm.
that hotel also had very similar traditions. And when he was in France or Italy in number 2, that one too, it's like he's been to multiple hotels and there's still these same traditions. But Mel
Mhm.
Gibson was like, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot a motherfucker." It's like, what are we doing, man? Like what happened from the 70s to the 2000s where you cared. So I don't know. This everything seemed off, just off. If for a John Wick universe show, it felt off, and I was pretty disappointed. And the music, great music, horrible. Like all the songs were so loud. They all fit weird. They all played like every time there's a transition to anything, there's a loud song playing, and I'm like, why are we playing this song right now? Besides, it's a cool song. It's like some of them kind of were like very nail on the head, when it came to the message, and some were
Mhm.
just like, oh, okay, cool, I guess, but yeah, I just it was a miss for me a little bit,
Yeah.
but it was fun enough because the action was kind of cool, and being in that universe was kind of cool, but probably still give it a later. Give it a
No
later.
matter what, yeah, you can't get a now unless you really do something special. And
Yeah.
right now, I don't think it did anything special enough for
Yeah.
me to give it a now.
Yeah.
So it's a later. It's just what it is, and people are going to be upset because a lot of people are liking this show. They keep on saying it, but for me, we gotta be honest to where it is, and this is where we are.
Yeah, and I love John Wick. I'm a big John Wick fan. I love all the John Wick stuff and everything, all the silliness of it all. But yeah, just this felt weird. You know. See what where it's at. So Rotten Tomatoes gave give it a 63%. It's on out of 75 reviews from the tomato meter, which is the critics, and 80% from the audience. So that's not bad. That's not bad numbers.
Yeah, this is. I'll give it an 80. That's where I am.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm I'll probably give it a little less than 80, maybe like a 70, 65, somewhere around there, 65, 70.
But are you
Probably
guys
here on the
still?
same.
Are you still excited about the ballerina?
Maybe I'm still excited about it, but maybe a little less.
Mm.
More worried than not excited. I think it could be cool, but now I'm like, oh, what are we doing? So,
Understood.
what about you,
Honestly,
Brandon?
understood.
Looking forward to that one?
Uh, Not 100% sure.
Mm.
I'm very middle of the road.
Was that before or after this show? Did the show change your view, or was it always kind of like middle of the road?
Um, kind of stayed about the same. I never had like terrible high hopes for it anyway.
Mhm.
And it was bad enough that the show was having me go like, I was hoping the finale would step things up, and it didn't.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I feel, but yeah, we'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see. I'm gonna go watch it because I like the universe and stuff, but I am more worried about it.
Mhm.
Closer you get to John Wick, the more interesting it gets. The further you're away, the less time they really spent editing and making this make sense. So,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Anything else, guys, for the Continental?
About it on my end.
nope,
Yeah,
I'm good.
same. Cool. But we want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. Are you one of these 80% people that think it's like really good? And like I said, I can't be mad at you if you really, really liked it. I can see why, but for us, just didn't do it. But leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the Continental, the mini series. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out with us. Any live people, appreciate all you guys hanging out with us as well. But stick around. We are gonna fish things up.